Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going deep today, diving into a topic that might sound kind of boring at first, but stick with us.
It's going to get interesting, I promise.
Yeah, automating the federal bureaucracy.
That's right. AI algorithms.
The whole thing, how could it change how the government works?
Big changes.
Exactly. Our source material for this deep dive is a document called
Automation of the Federal Bureaucracy.
Yep, by Christopher Kit Neal.
Kit Neal. It's packed with insights about how this could all work, especially with,
Big staffing changes.
yeah, potentially coming up.
Right, and what's fascinating is this isn't
Just some like futuristic fantasy.
exactly, it lays out an actual plan.
A real plan.
Uses cutting-edge AI.
Google's generative AI, ChatGPT.
Yeah, and it gets into the nitty-gritty of how to make it happen.
Nitty-gritty.
So first we need to sort of wrap our heads around the scale of the federal bureaucracy.
It's huge. Thousands of agencies, departments, commissions,
All working to put laws from Congress into action.
everything.
Department of Defense, Postal Service.
It's a massive system.
Absolutely. And all of these agencies impact our lives every day.
Every day they regulate industries,
Protect the environment,
ensure national security.
provide essential services.
Right. But they also face serious challenges.
Challenges.
The document points out that their responsibilities keep growing,
Yeah,
but budgets, not so much.
not keeping up. And now they're facing possible staff reductions.
Big ones.
So that's where AI and automation come in.
They step in.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's define what we actually mean by AI and automation.
Not robots taking over.
Yeah, not like some sci-fi movie.
Right. It's more about using technology,
Streamlining processes
handling those repetitive tasks.
and just making things more efficient.
Exactly.
Like the IRS processing tax returns. Millions of them.
Instead of humans entering all that data, imagine AI doing it instantly
And accurately.
and accurately using machine learning.
Machine learning.
It learns from the data, it processes
So it gets better.
better and more efficient over time.
Okay, so we're not replacing humans entirely.
No.
We're using AI to free them up.
Let them focus on those more complex tasks that need human judgment,
Human expertise.
expertise.
Now, the document lays out a pretty detailed plan for implementing automation.
A plan.
What's the first step?
Well, the first step is crucial.
Okay.
Creating a special task force within the cabinet.
Made above.
Top AI experts, cybersecurity specialists, and people who really understand how the government works.
So this task force would identify which agency functions are ready for automation.
Right. And make sure it's done ethically, transparently.
So it's not just diving into the tech.
No.
It's about being careful, considering the implications.
And making sure there are no unintended consequences.
Exactly what happens after the task force identifies those initial areas for automation.
Pilot program.
Pilot program.
Testing out AI in a few high-impact agencies first.
Okay.
The Social Security Administration or the VA
That's how it works.
in real-world situations.
Give me an example. What would a pilot program actually look like?
Imagine calling the Social Security Administration with a routine question.
About my benefits.
Yes. Instead of waiting on hold forever
Forever.
to talk to a human,
Right.
you could interact with an AI-powered virtual assistant.
That can answer my question?
Instantly access your information and answer accurately and efficiently.
Okay, so that's one example of how AI could streamline things.
And improve the citizen experience.
So we've got a task force, the pilot programs. What's next?
Assuming those pilot programs are successful,
Okay.
the Treasury and Justice Departments would then audit other agencies.
Looking for
More opportunities to automate processes
and spread those efficiencies
across the entire government.
so that the phased approach.
Phased approach starts small scale up gradually as the technology proves itself.
Got it. What about the human element?
Human element.
What happens to federal employees whose jobs are affected?
That's a big concern.
A big concern.
And the source material acknowledges that.
Very good.
It really emphasizes reskilling, upskilling federal employees.
Give them training?
Training programs so they can learn new skills.
Skills that are in high demand because of AI.
Exactly.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Data science, AI management, policy oversight.
These are areas where employees could thrive.
Thrive in a more automated workplace.
It's about adapting to the changing landscape,
And being ready for the jobs of the future.
even within the government.
Even within the government. And for those whose roles are more fundamentally changed by automation,
What about them?
redeployment initiative,
Redeployment
helping them move into new positions.
within the government or outside.
Yes, ensuring no one is left behind.
A safety net for the workforce.
Exactly.
Making sure people have support and opportunities to navigate this technological shift.
Yes.
But let's zoom out. Think about the long-term vision.
Zoom out.
What does a fully automated
Or at least partially automated.
federal bureaucracy actually look like?
The vision is ambitious.
Ambitious,
AI-driven systems become a part of most non-critical government functions.
making things faster, more efficient.
And potentially more cost-effective.
Okay, walk me through a specific example. How would this play out in a real-world scenario?
Imagine a regulatory agency that monitors environmental compliance for thousands of companies.
Thousands of companies.
Instead of sending human inspectors to each site,
Time-consuming and expensive.
they could use AI to analyze real-time data, quote, sensors, satellite,
So they can identify potential violations,
more quickly and efficiently,
freeing up those inspectors.
to focus on the most complex and high-risk cases.
So it's not about eliminating humans completely.
No.
It's about AI augmenting human capabilities,
Let them focus on what they do best,
making judgments, solving problems.
ensuring everything runs smoothly.
Exactly. And by streamlining processes, eliminating redundancies,
There's potential for big cost savings
which could free up resources,
for other areas like infrastructure, education, healthcare.
potentially benefiting everyone.
Everyone.
Okay, so far this sounds pretty promising.
Yeah.
A more efficient, cost-effective, and potentially more resilient government.
Resilient.
But I have a feeling there are some potential downsides and challenges
Oh, absolutely.
that we need to think about.
And those are some of the things we'll be diving into after the break.
So before the break, we were painting a pretty rosy picture
Ruzzy.
of this AI-powered government. But let's get real.
Real.
Anytime you have a change this big,
This big.
there are going to be bumps in the road.
Bumps.
What are some of the challenges we need to think about?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the cost.
Yeah, rolling out AI infrastructure across the whole federal government,
That's a huge investment up front.
not just buying the tech.
You have to train people, maintain the systems, and technology gets outdated so fast.
Exactly. And then there's the bigger question, is AI really the right solution for every problem?
Right, we can't just throw an algorithm at everything and call it a day.
Some things AI just can't handle.
Like jobs that require human judgment, empathy.
Things an algorithm can't replicate.
Exactly. Social workers, counselors, judges.
You wouldn't want AI making those calls.
No.
And even in areas where AI can help, there are still potential problems.
Problems.
The document talks about errors or biases
Mhm.
creeping into these systems.
AI is only as good as the data it learns from.
So if the data has problems,
The AI will too.
like imagine a system for evaluating loan applications, but it was trained on biased data.
It would just keep those inequalities going.
That's a huge concern. And then there's data protection. We're already giving the government so much personal information.
Social security numbers, health records, financial data.
If AI is going to handle even more of that
We need serious safeguards.
to prevent breaches or misuse.
Absolutely.
So efficiency is great, but not if it costs us our privacy.
Right.
Which brings up another question. Who is making sure all of this is done responsibly?
Who's watching the watchers?
Exactly.
The document stresses the need for independent oversight
Regular audits.
to make sure these systems are actually working as intended.
Transparency is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to know how these systems are making decisions, what data they're using.
Because if people lose trust in the process,
It all falls apart.
so it's not about being anti-AI.
Oh.
It's about being smart about how we use it, weighing the benefits against the risks.
Thinking it through.
And that's where you, the listener, come. This isn't some abstract policy discussion.
No.
These are decisions that will impact your life.
They will.
So as we head into the final part of this deep dive, I want you to think about what are your hopes and concerns about AI in government?
What role should citizens play?
How do we make sure this technology is used ethically for the benefit of everyone?
Everyone.
So we've spent a lot of time exploring this idea of automating the federal bureaucracy.
And the potential benefits.
This is a challenge.
The big questions we need to consider.
Yeah, where do we go from here? What's the takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think the first thing is to realize this wave of technology isn't going away.
It's not stopping.
AI and automation are here to stay.
Yeah.
And they do offer real chances to make government better.
More efficient and effective.
Right. But as we've talked about,
We can't just adopt new tech without thinking about the downsides.
and making sure we're using it responsibly.
Exactly. It's not about being afraid of progress
It's about
you-
being thoughtful,
and making sure everyone benefits.
not just a select few.
And this is where you, the listener, come in. You're not just watching this happen.
This is about your government.
Your future. This impacts your life.
It's so important to stay informed about these issues.
Have conversations.
Make your voice heard
Let your elected officials know what you think.
about how AI is being used.
Demand transparency. Ask questions.
Push for accountability.
Don't just assume the experts will figure it all out. This is too important.
Too important to leave to chance.
Remember, technology is a tool.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It all depends on the choices we make.
And the values we care about.
So it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the future of the federal bureaucracy.
We've covered a lot today.
From the details of how AI could make the government more efficient,
To those bigger questions of ethics, responsibility, and the role of citizens.
in shaping this technological transformation.
We hope this has helped you understand the potential of AI to change government.
And even more importantly, giving you the power to be a part of these important conversations.
And help shape the future we want.
Thanks for joining us.
And